Ilblu is a village in the 6th layer of the abyss inhabited entirely by Narehate. Narehate, also pronounced as Narehate, are hollow beings who have survived the 6 layers curse and whose bodies have become deformed as a result. They can take on many different forms depending on the circumstances of their transformations. Their exact properties as a species are still unknown, but the word Narehate comes from the term Narenohate, which means the shadow of one's former self. The village of Ilblu was created by the 3 sages. The name of these 3 sages are Belaf, Juroimoh, and Vazukian. The first sage Belaf, when was a human, he used to be one of the key members of the Ganja Suicide Corps and is now one of the Ilblu's most important residents. He served as one of the Ganja sages, as well as the main translator for the Abyss native people. After Ganja has created the camp on the 6th layer and started to suffer symptoms of an unknown body-hardening disease, it was Belaf who discovered the source of it. The second sage is Vazukian, who is also an Narehate in Ilblu. He is one of the 3 sages and the one who created Ilblu. He can speak the language of Delvers too. At some point in the past, Vazukian led Ganja in search of what the island's native calls as Shoro's Golden City, which is down in the 6th layer. During Ganja's advance to the 6th layer, they met some interference unit and learned of the curse. Accepting that they won't be able to return to the surface, Vazukian proposed to start anew, setting up a permanent camp and becoming the first citizen of the Golden City, thus leading to the later founding of Ilblu. The third sage is Juroimoh. Juroimoh engaged the Fuzoshepu with a club-like weapon but was overwhelmed due to the misjudging of the surroundings. After Reg returned with parts of Faputa, Juroimoh showed up and started attacking. Reg manages to draw Juroimoh's attention and a fight erupts between them, which leads to Juroimoh transforming into an even more monstrous form with the dark, gooey liquid masses. Vueko asks Vazukian why Juroimoh has the same name as her adoptive father who used to abuse her. Vazukian explains that Iruyumi created Juroimoh from the signals she received from Vueko, and Juroimoh is the very will of the village itself. One of the best things of the village of Ilblu is the force field does not exist in the village, and by extension, neither does the curse. Narehate in Ilblu take the form of what is it they most desire, and are granted the village's protection. In exchange, they are bound to the village, and a force field prevents them from leaving. The village itself seems to be somewhat sophisticated. It has restaurant, inns, and a system of currency too. The main industry in the village is trading based on the concept of value. The inhabitants are constantly trading and bartering for things equal or higher value. The item's value seems to be self-determined by whoever is in the possession of that item, as well as by the village itself based on the importance of the item it has to its owner. It is such an important concept that when a customer damages an item before it is paid for, an event called as the balancing occurs. The Ilblu balancing is a way for the village of Ilblu to produce a net gain of value by redistributing valued possession from the inhabitants, who damaged value not belonging to them, to other inhabitants who buy them with their own value. Due to Ilblu understanding the desires of its inhabitants, undesired possessions that can be bought are transformed into lower values, which manifest as currency for the village. Things that are transformed this way can never be returned to their original form, but can be used as currency in the village or during balancing. If the cause of damage exceeds the value of possession, the inhabitants in question makes up for the shortfall with their body. Furthermore, inhabitants of the village are able to use the balancing or a concept attributed to it to seemingly use it as an omnipotent tool of creation or recreation, as long as the user has a concise image of what they desire and compensate for it. I know this might be really hard to understand, but if you go few minutes back in the video and watch this concept again, I'm sure you will understand it clearly. Ilblu has an extremely convoluted language system, wherein the meaning of words tends to change back and forth. For example, Iruburu means village 50% of the time, cradle 40% of the time, and mother 10% of the time. The next word Jakopufu means to request 40% of the time, special 30% of the time, and stimulus 30% of the time. So it's a little bit hard for the newcomers, but there are some phases that restaurant worker taught Rico, such as Konbosu means understood, Kefu Keferi means what is its rough value, Mayan means a generous affirmation. Nagamu means a generous negation. Mimiu means excuse me for a moment. Lenme means thank you, which is 80% of the time. And Reizochi means sorry. And Famo means see you later. And as we already know that the inhabitants of Narehate of Ilblu cannot leave, the only way they can hunt is to lure prey into the city. The village of Illblu is divided into various parts and point of interest. Some important districts are Central District, where this pillar-like structure is. North District, where the Mepopohon's Inn is present. The West District, where the Porion's workshop is present. The South District, where the Illblu's entrance is. The East District also has Illblu's market of value. Some of the other places which are mentioned in anime and manga, of which the exact location is still unknown, are Narehate Restaurant, Belaf's House, and Dongupu, which is also called as the Age of the Illblu. With this fascinating set of places inside the village of Illblu, an amount of thought that went behind the construction of this fantasy world never disappoints me. That's why I have so many videos about Made in Abyss, which explains the mysteries of Abyss, such as the creatures, the world building, and the curse of the Abyss. So if you want to watch any of those videos, then click over here and check out those videos which explains the world of Made in Abyss and will give you more in-depth knowledge about it. So that's it for today's video guys. If you enjoyed, please subscribe and I will see you in the next one. Sayonara.